They hand you the script before you can even read. It is printed on invisible paper, weighted down by the expectations of people who claim to love you, and it contains a very specific set of instructions. Go to school, sit still, memorize the facts, get the grades. Do not rock the boat. Get the degree that costs more than a luxury car. Get the job with the dental benefits. And above all else, play it safe. We treat this advice like it is gospel, like it is the only way to survive. So like good little soldiers, we obey. We march in line. We follow the choreography perfectly. And that script leads us straight into a trap so well designed, so comfortable, and so brightly lit that we don't even realize the door has locked behind us until we are 40 years old. The safe path is not a roadmap to success. It is the single biggest lie ever told to the human race. It is a trap baited with the cheese of stability, and once the steel jaws snap shut, it locks your soul away for decades. We need to fundamentally dissect our definition of the word safety. If you go back to the Paleolithic era, safety meant vigilance. It meant checking the wind direction so a saber-toothed cat didn't rip your throat out. Safety was active. Safety was a skill. But in modern society, we have mutilated this definition. We think safety means a bi-weekly direct deposit. We think safety means the total absence of unpredictability. But this modern version of safety is actually a slow-acting poison. It seduces you into a state of biological and psychological atrophy. When you choose the safe path, you are effectively outsourcing your survival to a system that views you as a disposable line item on a spreadsheet. You rely on a corporation for your food. You rely on the government for your security. You rely on a boss for permission to take a vacation. You become dependent. And dependency is the most dangerous state a human being can possibly be in. I remember the exact moment I realized I was living in a cage. It wasn't a dramatic explosion, it was a Tuesday morning. I was 45 years old. I was sitting in traffic, the same gridlock I had sat in for 15 years. I want you to feel the sensory details of that commute. The smell of unburnt hydrocarbons and exhaust fumes seeping through the vents. The sterile, recycled air conditioning drying out your eyes. The drone of the morning radio show hosts trying to manufacture fake happiness for millions of miserable listeners. The tightness in your lower back from sitting in a non-ergonomic position for too long. It is a sensory deprivation tank designed to numb you. As I looked out the windshield at the sea of red brake lights, thousands of metal boxes inching forward, I realized we weren't just stuck in traffic. We were stuck in a velvet coffin, and the lid was being nailed down one paycheck at a time. The safe path is dangerous because it kills your adaptability. This is the zoo animal paradox. When you spend 30 years doing the same repetitive task in a safe job, your brain stops growing. You stop learning how to hunt. You stop learning how to build. You become a zoo animal. Your coat is shiny, your belly is full, but your muscles have wasted away. And what happens to a zoo animal when the gates are suddenly thrown open? It doesn't run free. It dies. It doesn't know how to survive in the wild because comfort has sterilized its competence. I watched this happen in real time to my colleagues during the 2008 financial crisis. I saw men and women who had played it safe for 20 years, people who followed the rules, who saved the money, who wore the suits, suddenly let go. They were devastated, not just financially, but existentially. They stood on the sidewalk holding cardboard boxes filled with staplers and family photos, looking completely lost. They didn't know who they were without the corporate ID badge around their neck. They had no skills to survive outside the cage. The safety they had chased was an illusion made of smoke and mirrors. Real safety is self-reliance. Real safety is knowing that you can be dropped in the middle of a forest and build a shelter before nightfall. Real safety is knowing that if you lose your job today, you can start a business tomorrow because you have skills, you have grit, and you have a network of real relationships, not just LinkedIn connections. A safe path also robs you of the texture of life. It creates a flatline existence. You don't suffer the terrifying lows of bankruptcy, sure, but you never experience the soaring high of creating something from nothing. You never feel the adrenaline of betting on yourself and winning. You live in the gray zone. Imagine eating unseasoned oatmeal for every single meal for 80 years. It's nutritious. It keeps you alive. It's safe. But you never taste the spice of a curry, the sweetness of a ripe mango, or the bitterness of dark coffee. You just eat the gray sludge. That is the safe path. It nourishes the body, but starves the soul. I used to think that stability was the ultimate goal. But I realized too late that stability is often just a polite synonym for stagnation. Stagnation is the silent killer of dreams. It creeps up on you. It whispers, just one more year. Just wait until the bonus clears. Just wait until the kids are older. And suddenly, you are 60, and you realize you never wrote the song, you never climbed the mountain, you never started the bakery. Listen closely to the sound of a modern office. Listen to the hum of a fluorescent light bulb in an empty hallway, that low, buzzing drone. It's the sound of electricity flowing, but doing nothing exciting. It's the sound of a life on standby. That sound haunted my dreams for years until I finally understood that the only way to silence it was to smash the bulb and step out into the unpredictable, terrifying, beautiful dark. If you are currently walking the safe path, I am not telling you to quit your job today and become homeless. That is not courage, that is recklessness. I am telling you to start building your escape tunnel. Start a side hustle in the hours between sleep and work. Learn a new skill that the market actually values. Invest in assets that you control, not assets that control you. Stop looking for a savior in your boss or your government. Safety is a lie. The world is chaotic. The economy is volatile. The only thing you can trust is your own capacity to adapt and overcome. Don't let them lock your soul in a comfortable cage. The door is not locked. It never was. You just have to be brave enough to push it open and walk into the storm. Because the storm is where you find out who you really are.